Isaiah chapter 12 verse 2 says, "Behold, God is my salvation. I will trust and not be afraid. For the Lord Jehovah is my strength and my song. He also is become my salvation." Cling to God's promises. What do you think about? What are you thinking about right now? The thoughts you fill your mind with are crucial because what you cling to influences your worldview. If you choose to dwell on God's promises, you start to recognize God's blessings during uncertain times. Trusting that God will redeem your present pain equips you to walk forward in faith and keep on fighting. Isaiah 12:2 reminds us that we belong to a God who is faithful to keep his promises. This God rescues us and fights for us. So when we belong to God, we have nothing to fear. All we need to do is cling to God and wait on him to act. So as you walk forward today, reflect on some of God's promises and let them transform the way you think. God will sustain you in Psalms 55:22. God's peace will guide your heart. Philippians 4:7. God delights over you with singing. Zephaniah 3:17. God will instruct you and teach you in the way you should go. Psalms 32:8. God is your refuge and strength, your help in times of need. Psalms 46:1. In all things you are more than a conqueror because God loves you. Romans 8:37. God will never leave you or forsake you. Deuteronomy 31:6. God's perfect love casts out all your fears. 1 John 4:18. Nothing can separate you from God's love in Romans 8:38-39. And God's not done with you. God's not done with you. God is not done with you. Philippians 1:6. These are amazing promises that God tells us, and there's way more. These are only just a few. But I think that if we cling to God's promises, we will be able to continue with our life. We're still going to come across troubled times, like it tells us in the Bible. We're going to face tribulations. But the fact that we cling to God's promises gives us strength and faith to keep going, to keep fighting, and it's so much worth it. I really encourage you today to reflect on God's promises and to really let them dwell on your heart, to really touch your heart and embrace them with all of your might.